Live.
Hi, we are the two Mikes. I'm the Porkmeister and you are?
I'm Mike Graham.
Of course you are.
Otherwise known as MG.
Otherwise known as MG. It's good to see you again, okay?
Thank you very much.
And I'm delighted that we'll be able to bring you our thoughts on various subjects. Of course, England are playing Slovenia tonight.
Are they?
When did England last beat Slovenia?
I don't know.
Well, it was in Port Elizabeth.
Was it?
In South Africa.
Port Elizabeth?
Port Elizabeth in
South
South
what you mean,
Africa.
because they drew with them and they went to Slovenia, didn't they?
Yeah, but I'm talking about like the last time they beat them was in the World Cup.
Was it?
In South Africa 2010.
But that's not the last time they played them.
No, it's not. I didn't say that. I said last time they beat them.
What are you talking about England anyway?
Hey?
What are you talking about England for?
Because England are playing tonight.
Well, so what?
Well, I think it's important because I was at the game, you see, in Port Elizabeth.
Really?
Where England got their only victory, I think, of that tournament, you know what I mean? So I thought we should mention that.
I don't think we should talk about football.
Some mad guy with a drill round here somewhere. Did you hear that?
Yeah, never mind that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You can talk about football when you're on talkSPORT.
Okay.
But right now we're on Facebook Live.
Yeah, what do you
We've
want
got
to
lots
talk
of things to talk about.
Well, we've got lots of things
Well,
to
we've
talk
got to talk
about.
about Theresa May's speech.
Oh, yeah?
Do you know that not only did the things fall off behind her, right?
Yes.
Not only did she lose her voice and
Yes.
start coughing, not
Yes.
only was she handed a lozenge, not only was she handed a P45,
Yes.
the part of the speech was,
Yeah.
guess what, nicked from
Yes.
the West Wing.
That's right, the West Wing, that's right, yeah. Yeah, I knew that.
You knew that?
I knew that, yeah.
Do you know which episode of the West Wing was started from?
Well, as I lent you the
Well.
box set for the West Wing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You will have had the total advantage of watching
Yes.
everyone. You haven't returned them yet.
I haven't
noticed.
returned it because
Why?
I'm not going to.
What do you mean?
Because I'm waiting for you to return to me
What?
the previous box set that I gave you.
Of what?
It was House of Cards.
House of Cards. Yeah,
You
but I
haven't
don't
given
need
it
that
back to me
anymore
yet.
because I now get that on
Well, when are you gonna get-
on
when
the
are you gonna-
streaming system.
When are you going to bring it back?
I've worked out the streaming system. You don't need it back. You've watched it all.
It doesn't matter. It's
But
mine.
I haven't watched the West Wing.
You don't want to watch the
And I
West Wing.
want
It's
to
too
do it.
complicated
Anyway,
for you.
listen. I want to talk to you
Too
about a very,
complicated for.
very important social factor, and that's Vickers, right? I'm getting fed up
Funny
with
enough, I
Vickers.
saw one just about 5 minutes ago
Did
at the
you?
other side of the pub.
Did you?
He was standing outside the pub talking to somebody.
Was he drinking alcohol?
He wasn't, no.
Right, let me tell you this, right? I'm getting increasingly fed up with the role of Vickers in the British way of life.
No, yeah.
This week, I went for a walk across the North
Surely they're a
Downs.
quintessential part of the British way.
Well,
of
you'd
life.
think so, but I'm not sure. I went for a walk across the North Downs,
Yeah.
ended up at one of my particularly favourite restaurants in Stockbroke, Surrey.
Parking wall.
A couple of party wardens. Yeah.
Don't abuse
Scum.
Don't say that.
Right?
That's abusive.
Well,
you
I'm
get
not-
arrested for that.
No.
Why would you suddenly tell he's a football hooligan? What's wrong with you?
Well, you know, I mean, dishing out 160
Have you not
pounds
seen?
parking.
Have you not seen those signs when you get on the train?
Yeah.
You know, verbal abuse will not be tolerated.
Yeah. But they didn't hear me
And they have
shouting.
the advert about the woman who comes home from work from the tube,
Yeah, that's
and
right.
she's in tears,
Yeah.
and the son's
But look
saying,
at
you
them,
know,
look at them. Look at their uniform.
what's wrong with the uniform?
Well, yeah, it makes them look like they're important, you know what I mean?
I don't think so. It's not much for a uniform, is it?
Anyway, look, what I want to say is,
What do you want to say?
yeah, I tell you what, Parky ones I've never liked. I used to like them when they were lovely Rita, meet a maid, where would I be without you?
Do you mind not
And that was,
singing?
that was a track on Sgt. Pepper's,
Was
Lovely
it?
Rita, yeah.
Yeah.
Written by Paul McCartney.
Was it?
Now then,
Are
what
you
I want...
sure?
Yeah, I'm certain. Absolutely certain. Now then, I want to tell you about Vickers, right? So I go over to this this
Have you been to
hospital
a
of
Vickers
mine.
and Tarts party?
Of course not.
Why not?
I wouldn't do such a thing.
Why not?
Well, I'm not a vicar, but...
You're a bit of a tart, though.
Oh, that's a bit harsh, isn't it? Yeah. I wasn't thinking of me as the tart, by the way.
No.
Now, what I want to say, is that where all the women wear, like,
You'd like
lingerie?
it. Well, women wear lingerie most of the time.
Well, you know what I
I've
mean,
got
yeah.
news for you. They don't just put it off.
Hey, now
when they
listen,
see
come
you.
on, we're not getting into this. It's a family show.
It's not a family show. It's on
family show.
Facebook. We
Now
do what
then,
we like.
what I want to say was, so I go over and what happens is,
So where was this?
this was Cheam
Cheam.
in Surrey.
Oh, nice.
And there I am. And I'm just, you know, having a quiet bit of lunch in the corner. And all of a sudden,
what were you having for lunch?
on that day, I had the... Yeah, I tell you what it was. The Stilton and Steak home-baked pie.
That doesn't sound very good for somebody with a dodgy heart.
Stilton and Steak
Did you get it
home-baked
with
pie.
chips and gravy?
No, mashed potato.
And peas?
No, seasonal vegetables. yeah.
God, you were really pushing the boat out.
Yeah, well, I was, yeah.
Right.
So anyway, what
How many
happens is... a couple and a glass of red.
Oh,
now
yeah.
then, what happens is, so this chap walks in, right, with his black tie on.
When you say black tie, do you mean his
Yeah.
dog collar?
No, a black tie. So I thought to myself, oh, we'll be the first of many.
Oh.
And then many good. So it was a wake for a funeral.
Oh, I see.
So they all come in and they all go to the file room. That's
Yeah.
fair enough. Anyway, the last guy in was the vicar. In his black shirt, you know, with his white dog collar
Dog
and all
collar,
that.
yeah.
And he comes in, you know, saying, you know, nodding
Was
his
he
head,
youngish
yes.
guy?
I would say middle-aged-ish.
Right.
Young middle-aged.
Okay.
I'd say
Early middle age?
late
About
30s.
60 then?
No, late 30s, 40. So he comes in and he finds this beam to lean on. Yeah,
Beam.
what do you call it? Like a pillar.
Pillar?
So he leans on this pillar.
Like Pillars of the Earth.
Now
your
this,
favourite book.
yeah, that's right. Now This is about 10 to 3, right?
Yeah.
At 10 to 5, when I happened to walk past the same
You're
location...
still in the pub at this point?
Well, I'd been reading newspapers and drinking very slowly.
So,
And I
you got
walked
in there
past.
about once. You're down in there
No,
about 4 hours.
no. And the vicar is still leaning against the pillar, and he's still supping free wine.
Oh, yeah.
Because obviously at the wake, somebody else is paying for it. You don't exactly go out and buy
Well,
it yourself.
he can drink as much wine as he wants
no.
if he's at the church.
I got
The
a
altar
bit
wine's
fed
free
up
as well.
with this, and I thought to myself, what is the role of vicars in life these days?
Yeah.
Now then, it takes me back to a wedding I went to
Uh-huh.
in the same part of the country about 3 years ago, when I was, amongst the congregation, when I
Uh-huh.
saw the couple get married,
Right.
and then the first guy into the reception afterwards
Yeah.
was the vicar.
Right.
But guess
Well,
what?
that's fair enough.
Guess what?
What's
He
wrong with
tripped
that?
down the stairs and fell down the stairs. we suspect he was intoxicated
Really?
before the
What sort of wedding was this?
reception. It was a wedding.
With anybody I know?
With my sister, actually.
Your sister?
Yeah, my elder sister's
Well, that
wedding.
was a long time ago,
Well,
wasn't
it's quite a long time ago, but
it? Was this the one they got married for tax purposes?
yes, that's right. Yes, yeah, because we're a tax efficient family, actually. Yeah. But that is really
True romance.
Yeah, that is it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, what happens then is, so Vicar demands a seat at a table. I mean,
Did he not hurt himself falling down the stairs?
well, I think he was well cushioned by,
By the alcohol.
Well, maybe, yeah.
It was a sort of
but,
status
but then
quo
he
fall
starts
down the
walking
stairs.
round, looking at all the, placement. Where's my table? And in fact, the invitation was only to come for a quick drink
Oh, I
after
see.
the ceremony.
So he wasn't allowed to have a meal?
Well, in the end, he made such a fuss about it.
Yeah.
He had to find a seat for him, and he sat
Well,
down.
that's a
But he
bit-
brought his wife with him as
Well,
well.
hang on, it's-
Now, what I'm saying
Hang on a
is,
second, it's a little
Yeah.
bit kind of cheap, is it?
No,
Don't
no.
invite the vicar who
Hang-
marries
hang
you
on.
for tax purposes,
the question
right,
is,
to have a meal with
the
you.
question is, are vicars freeloaders? Are they the biggest freeloaders in the world?
Well, maybe.
Well, hang on. I would have thought that.
They're God's representative on earth.
I would have thought a man of the cloth who's just done a funeral
Yeah.
should then maybe comfort the mourners, and the family and all that.
Yeah.
But most people who die are like, dead by arrangement. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
What do you mean dead by
Well,
arrangement?
most people who die don't die
Death
suddenly.
by arrangement?
yeah.
That's rubbish.
No, they don't die
Loads of
suddenly.
people die suddenly.
Not usually. There's a helicopter
Tom
over there.
Petty died suddenly.
That's a big helicopter.
Tom Petty died suddenly.
Yes, but he was 67, so people
That's
knew
not
he
very
was
old.
going to die.
66 actually.
66, that's right, yeah.
No, people
So-
do not know who's going to die.
Anyway,
People do
anyway.
not expect you to die
What I'm-
when you're 66. That's rubbish.
What I'm saying is this: if a vicar does
You
say,
expect you to die when you're 66.
probably, yeah,
Really?
yeah, but when I'm 66,
Six.
da-da,
Yeah.
da.
That's the second
So what
song
I'm-
you've sung. I haven't
Yeah.
wanted you to
So
sing.
what I'm saying is, the vicar should maybe go and just say to the mourners, "Yeah, it's very nice to see you. Take one glass and then push off." Now, does a vicar spend half his time getting bladderated at,
Well,
at funerals
I
and
imagine,
weddings?
I imagine you're using,
Yeah.
as usual, a massive sweeping statement. I'm sure there are some vicars,
Yeah.
for example,
Yeah.
who do not drink at all.
Well, I'm just telling you my experience. So if
it's
a,
one story you've got.
hang on, if a vicar does 2 funerals and 1 wedding a week, that's
About
3
4
afternoons.
weddings and a funeral.
Your weddings and a funeral, I like it. That means 3 afternoons of his time are spent on the, the gurgle.
Well, that's less than you.
And
It's less than you.
Yeah, but I'm not a
You
vicar.
get 4 out of
I'm not a
4.
vicar.
You'd
I'm
have
not a-
4 out of 4.
I'm not a vicar. So what I'm
God for
saying
that.
is, what about all the the parishioners' work he has to do? Go around comforting
Well,
parishioners.
maybe he's got other people to help him.
Looking after the social fund at the church hall.
Maybe he's got the Virgin
You know,
who can do that.
Arranging his sermon. How
yeah.
long does he spend reading his sermon? I tell you what, I've often thought this to myself, because I still go to church, on a Sunday morning occasionally.
Rubbish.
And
When's the last time you went to church?
well, I can't tell you the exact date.
You haven't been this
A few
year?
months ago.
No, you've not been this year.
I haven't probably been this year, but I've
No.
had a busy year. But let me tell you, when I listen,
It's now October.
when I listen to a vicar giving his sermon,
Yeah.
right, I'm thinking this is rubbish. I could write a much better sermon. My
I'm
sermon would.
surprised you don't just go up to the pulpit and throw him out and just start talking to
My
him.
sermon would be relevant to real life and common life, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is this.
Well, why don't you become
So-
a vicar?
Well, I've thought about
You
it.
become a lay preacher.
Well, I've thought about it. What I'm saying is, I think vicars waste a lot of their time getting, well oiled after funerals and weddings.
So you're
I
highly
really do.
qualified for this job.
No, let me tell you. Now, my third
So you're getting
observation.
well oiled before you do a radio show.
No, my third observation on vicars. No. They should be out in their parish, riding around on their bike, and
Riding.
doing things. Right. Now, I have 2 other examples of why I
Why are
don't
you
think.
shouting?
Well, because I'm trying to make my point.
Okay.
I don't think vicars are up to it, right? Now, First of all, do you remember that?
Are you just having to go at Church of England vicars here, or are you?
Well, they're the only ones I know.
Oh, you don't know any Catholic priests?
Yeah, I don't know Catholic priests. I tell you, Grace of a Catholic priest.
Well, I grew up with Catholic priests.
Well, I mean, they spend a lot of time drinking, right?
Well, some of them do.
A lot of time drinking. Right, I once worked in a place called Redditch, right, and there was, that was for the Birmingham Evening Mail. There was a little village nearby called Studley. Studley. And we used to go into the Lord Nelson pub in Studley, in the West Midlands, that's right.
Why are you making them sound like they're retarded?
No, I'm not. That's the West Midland accent. And we go into the Lord Nelson pub, and guess what? The vicar was in there at opening time. In those days, the pub's open at 5:30.
So were you?
Yeah, I was. Yeah. But he was first in, leaning on the bar, giving all this, and because it was
still there at closing time.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But because it was
you're still alive.
Hang on. Because it was a local paper, you just go and say, "Oh, vicar, how are you?" Shake his hand. You know.
Buy him a drink.
Well, this is the point. What he used to do is he used to sell stories for beer.
What?
Because we'd say, "Have you got any good stories, vicar?" You know, and he'd say, "Well,
this is a vicar, not a Catholic."
This is a vicar.
Right.
And he'd say things like, "Oh, well, I've heard some really dodgy, you know. Oh, well, what is that, vicar? Oh, my glass is empty. Oh, right, vicar, let's fill your glass up."
Yeah.
And then we get all the local parishioner stories off the vicar. It was brilliant.
Was that not a bit of a breach of privacy on his part?
Well, I think it could have been, yeah. But I mean, they don't have the confessional box.
See, I never understood the confessional box because when I was a boy growing up, and I was an altar boy, and I used to go to this church in Hampstead, right, where I served as the altar boy. And I
You're an altar boy?
Yeah, of course I was an altar boy.
You used to carry the cross in front of you down the aisle?
We did the Stations of the Cross on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
We did a full Latin Mass on a Sunday.
Yeah.
I sometimes read from the Epistle. I also operated the Thoroughfare.
You read from what?
The Epistle.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said something else then.
Yeah, well, you see, you're not a man of the cloth.
Yeah.
Once again, you're speaking out of complete and utter ignorance, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Who used to wash your surplus?
What?
Who washed your surplus?
I didn't have a surplus then.
Didn't you have a white...
thin.
No, a white... didn't you have a white robe?
No, I had a cassock.
A cassock, yeah. You used to wash...
Well, they washed all that in the church.
Oh, didn't your mother wash your cassock for you, like she used to wash your football gear?
No, not at all. No, they had their own washing service at the church.
I know, go on, yeah.
And you would graduate up to become. You started off as an acolyte, while you were carrying one of the big candles, right? But later on, you become the MC.
I carry the big candle.
Yeah.
I'm an important altar boy, me, with my big candle.
See, I'm not like you. I didn't do it out of importance, but I'll tell you when I discovered.
Was the candle lit when you were carrying it?
Of course it was.
Oh, I see.
But then you learned how to operate a thurible. Do you know what a thurible is? Any idea? A thurible.
No, I don't know what a thurible.
You say you have lived.
It's not one of those swinging things, is it?
Yeah, is it? We put incense in.
Yeah, that's right.
You have to hold it very carefully. You have to hold it very carefully, right? You know this, by the way, there's stuff falling. This might be like the Omen.
Yeah, that's right.
You start making fun of the Church of Latter-day Saints.
Yeah, but go on. Yeah.
Anyway, so you would hold...
Is that Graham, what's his name, the famous TV star?
Graham, what's his name? I have no idea.
You know, Graham Norton?
Graham Norton?
Is it? Yeah, I think doesn't it look like him?
Do you know he's just sold his house? He's selling his house in Couden.
Is he?
Which is down near me, right?
Right.
Do you know that picture I put out of the Jaguar sitting on the beach?
Oh, yes, I know.
His house is about a 2-minute walk from
Really?
there. Do you know how much he's selling it for?
a picture of that guy when he turned around. Do
you know how much he's selling it for?
No?
He's selling it for 2.1 million.
2.1 million?
He bought it for 1.1 million.
Well, he's a good businessman. Yeah, look at his profile. Yeah, I thought it was.
He used to have an office around it.
Yeah, well, that's right, he did, yeah. In the same building that we're in, actually. Funny enough.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, go on. So
you would learn to do the thing,
So
right?
the swinging thing, yeah?
Well, no,
I saw that once in a Russian church.
Really? Russian Orthodox, they like a lot of incense there.
That's right, yeah.
Incense, of course, was used in the old days because it disguised the smell of the peasants.
Oh my God, the Great Unwash.
Yeah,
they really were the Great Unwash.
Well, they really were.
They really were. That's where the Great Unwash came from.
They didn't have a chance to wash, right?
No, that's right.
So anyway, so you put there's one little ring, you put your pinky finger there, you put your other finger there, and you would hold the chain like that. You don't keep it closed, because when you go like that and get all the smoke to go everywhere, if you haven't closed it, you throw charcoal on people, you know, and burn them.
Well, that's why.
For me, the first time I did it, right, and I thought I'd learned it well.
Yeah.
The thing tipped upside down.
Oh no.
And so the charcoals, which were like that, little charcoal things, like little pellets.
It burns through anything?
It burnt through the parquet flooring of the church
altar.
Of the altar.
Of the altar?
Yeah.
Wow.
And another time, it's a bit like being a producer of a show when you're the MC of a church service.
Sure.
You're basically giving the priest the running order.
Right.
And I forgot to do the epistle.
Right.
Reading of the epistle.
Got to do the epistle.
Right.
He gets confused by epistles.
I was only 11, by the way, so before you start making too much fun of me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the priest leans over to me. He's a visiting priest from Canada.
Right.
And he goes,
visiting priest from Canada,
He goes, haven't we forgotten to do the epistle? And I said, no, we don't do it in this mass. And he went, oh, fine, okay then.
Yeah.
You know, because it was the usual sort of bullshit that I learned to use later as a journalist.
Yeah, of course you did.
But anyway, can't remember what
anyway, so you push it. Anyway, what I was going to say is I've got other evidence of the fact that vicars, in my view,
Are they being unkind?
Oh, not right. Okay.
What about female vicars?
I don't know any female vicars, but let me tell you.
I can tell you a story about that in a minute.
Okay, let me tell you about 2 examples of vicars. Right, in Coronation Street, the vicar is Billy. Okay,
Billy the vicar.
Billy the vicar.
Really?
Billy is gay.
Is he?
Which is not a problem at all, of course. He's got a boyfriend. That's fine.
It's 2017.
Yeah, exactly. But Billy seems to spend most of his time wearing different.
I was going to say something else.
No, most of his time wearing different shirts to put the dog collar on.
Well, do you know some people do wear different shirts, unlike you, who's always wearing the same bloody shirt.
No, look, a vicar.
It's always the same shirt.
A vicar should have a black shirt with the white dog collar because that.
Well, that's what they wear.
No, this guy Billy, he's got short sleeve shirts with a dog collar. He's got pattern shirts. He's got check shirts.
Well, really? He's checked shirts.
Yeah, he's
with a dog collar.
Yeah,
sure.
Seriously.
Well,
Striped
that's TV,
shirts.
isn't it?
No,
he's a fictional character.
He's a trendy vicar, but let me tell you this.
I've seen him with purple shirts.
He spends most of his time, right, just going out and getting leathered with his boyfriend. You know, he doesn't spend much time in church at all.
He doesn't exist.
Well, yeah, but this is the way the church are trying to portray their vicars as trendy.
It's the way Coronation Street's trying to portray him.
Get amongst the people, get down with the kids. I'm a vicar. Hey, you know, peace and love, says Ringo, and all that kind of stuff.
Ringo.
Well, Ringo Starr, you know. Ringo's not a vicar, by the way. And the other one is, remember that TV series?
What are you talking about?
Well, the vicar in the TV series.
This is another TV
with
show.
Jerome Robson didn't do any vicarage work. He didn't do any vicaring work. What's his name? You know, he didn't.
Robson Jerome,
that's right. Didn't do any vicaring work. Do you know what he did? He spent all the time helping.
The one where he was a psychiatrist?
No,
and there was all people getting murdered and chopped up.
He spent all his time helping the alcoholic copper who was played by.
Why do all your stories circulate around people drinking massive amounts?
To solve all the crimes. Now, what was that called? It's the name of a town near to Cambridge. You know,
Huntington.
No, not Huntington, you idiot. That's in Cambridgeshire. This is right
near Cambridge.
And the guy who's the star in it is now a very famous actor who's in War and Peace.
Okay.
He's got like gingerish hair. He also.
Ewan Griffin.
No, not Ewan Griffin. And he
Hornblower.
No, not Hornblower. And he was in. He was in the first edition. Grantchester. Thank you. That's it. Grantchester. He was a villain in Sarah Lancashire's award-winning programme called Halifax, was it?
Halifax?
No.
That's the name of a bank.
No, Happy Valley. Happy Valley. It was called Happy Valley, seriously. Happy Valley.
It's not even anywhere close to Halifax.
He was a villain in Happy Valley. But the thing is, he plays a vicar.
Have we now morphed into Porkyvision, which you were meant to be doing?
No.
We're meant to be doing Porkyvision.
No, he played. We'll do that in a sec. He played the vicar in Grantchester.
Save the time, by the way.
And all he does in Grantchester is tell the alcoholic copper who the villains are all the time.
Well,
so he doesn't do any vicaring.
Well, that's the secret.
You never see him with his parishioners saying, "Here we are, my son. Have a bun and a cup of tea. This will help you."
The trouble is, you seem to have a sort of warped view of what vicars should be doing.
Yeah.
You know, like something that Padre Parry would be doing.
What about the vicars that you encountered then as an altar boy?
Well, what I'm saying, I didn't encounter vicars because I was in a Catholic church, right? They're priests.
Priests.
They're priests and or cardinals.
Okay.
And occasionally, I think we had. What's the next one up from cardinal? I mean, I think the odd archbishop. The odd archbishop, yeah. But I'll tell you, I went to a wedding in North Wales once, and we used to call. My children and I used to call this woman, it was a female vicar, it's called a comedy vicar, because she got up in the pulpit, she was a very small woman, I would say about this height.
What, about 4'11"?
About 4'11", right? And sort of quite wide.
Do you know most page 3 models are about 4'11", don't you?
I don't.
Well, they used to be, they're not any page 3 models.
They're not allowed
anymore,
to do that anymore.
No, exactly.
Why are you telling me that?
I just thought you'd know. The average height of a page 3 model used to be 4'11", believe it or not.
Well, that's
Isn't that amazing? Yeah.
It's not really amazing, actually. No, it's not what I would call amazing.
Okay.
But anyway, thank you for that piece of information.
Yes.
Samantha Fox was, of course, less than that, I believe.
She was about 4'11".
About 4'11", yeah. Anyway, so this comedy vicar gets up into the pulpit, right? And you can barely see her head over the side because the pulpit's quite high, you know. But she's standing up there, and as she's in the midst of the sermon, there's they have those boards that sort of sit up and tell you which hymns are coming next.
Right.
You know, turn your hymn books to number.
That's right. Page 621, hymn 74.
You know, of Jerusalem or whatever it is, right?
Holy, holy.
Well, I think I preferred the Beatles.
God Almighty. That sort of thing.
Yeah, that sort of thing, And because it was in North Wales, it was very sort of, fulsome sound in the cathedral or something. Anyway, this board from behind her fell on her.
No.
And literally, and not only did it fall on her head, but she disappeared.
Oh, no.
Because she went down below the... and then she sort of popped up like something out of one of those Jack in the Box.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
To say that she was okay.
Just Jack in the Box.
That's the 4th song now.
You know.
Anyway, it was very funny. It was very funny. So I found it very difficult to take it seriously.
Now you want a bit of Porkyvision? This will be for the 30 seconds, and then we've got to go. I'm afraid, folks.
Why?
But well, because
you've got somewhere to go.
Yeah, we've got places to go, people to see.
Yeah, okay.
Now, what I was going to say is that Dr. Foster, last episode.
A lot of people thought it was rubbish. The last end.
Well, it wasn't, but it was completely unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
In the end, the way they were going to resolve the problem was
I knew her for a minute.
Dr. Foster was going to lay out a load of syringes.
What?
And poison.
Why?
In his hotel bedroom, so he could go back and commit suicide.
Dr. Foster was a woman.
Dr. Foster is a woman. She was laying out the stuff for her ex-husband to commit suicide. Okay.
Why?
That's what was going to happen. Eh?
What?
I've just told you.
No.
Well, what happened was, right.
No. Listen. Nobody wants to know what happens at the end because they might not have watched it yet.
Well, you should have watched it by now. Sorry if I can watch it, and I'm a portmice, and I've got things to do in life. I'm a very busy man. You should have watched it yourself, okay?
Right. Yeah.
So in the end,
yeah.
Believe it or not, it was unbelievable. 15-year-old son. 15-year-old son.
They're going to do another series.
I hope so.
Is it a cliffhanger?
They've left the door open because 15-year-old son decided he hated both his parents. So guess what? In the end, he ran off.
What?
So he's now a missing child.
Okay.
Yeah. See what I mean?
That's how it ends.
The Dr. Foster's husband tried to commit suicide by stepping onto a dual carriageway to be smashed to pieces by a car.
Oh yeah.
She said, "Don't do that." And he said, "Why not?" He said, "You might hurt somebody else. I'll help you commit suicide.
Hang on,
I'll give you a syringe, you poison it. Just give it that."
Back a bit. What did he say to his ex-wife? This is what I'm going to do.
No, he took the son away, and then he told the son, "Watch this," and he was going to walk onto a carriageway.
Well, who told him not to do it?
She got to him just before he threw himself
in
front of the car.
Well, how did she know he was going to do it?
Because she is smarter than the average bear.
Really?
And followed him to a hotel where she knew he was staying through tracking his phone.
That sounds rubbish, this show.
It's a great show.
Do you know what I've been watching? I've been watching Wallander.
Wallander. No, I like that.
Kenneth Branagh's in that.
Yeah, but he goes mad as well, doesn't he?
Well, he's always bursting into tears.
He's always bursting into tears, and also having, like, he goes walking up into these hills in Scandinavia and going, ah!
What I don't understand about Wallander is
that
the original Wallander was obviously filmed in Scandinavia.
That's right.
In Swedish, I think it was.
Yes.
Right? It turns out that instead of doing what most people do, like The Killing, for example...
Sorry, was Kenneth Branagh speaking in Swedish?
No! No! No, but the original...
you told me he was.
Well, no, the original Wallander was a Scandinavian production.
Oh, I see.
In the same way that the original The Killing, was a Scandinavian production, but they reset it, right?
And the tunnel.
And the bridge, actually.
The bridge, that's right,
yeah. And they turned it into the tunnel. Do you see what I mean? But when they turned it into the tunnel, they turned it into a British show.
Oh.
Right? When they changed The Killing, they turned it into an American show.
Yes.
Set it in Seattle.
Okay.
With Wallander, they've left it in Sweden.
Right.
But they put Kenneth Branagh in it.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And also that guy you like, Tim Huddleston.
Huddleston?
Tom Hiddleston.
Oh, little
Tom
fella.
Hiddleston.
Little fella.
No, the guy from The Night Manager.
Yeah, but he's little.
Tom Hiddleston, he's huge. He's not little.
Was he the hero? Was he the Night Manager?
Yes, that guy.
Oh, him, yeah. But there was another Tom in that, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he's a small guy.
That's right,
he's not a midget. You can't say that.
Okay.
Even on Facebook, right?
Okay.
Anyway, here's the thing. Tom Hiddleston in this has got really curly hair.
Oh.
Have you not seen it?
No.
I thought you'd seen it. Anyway, Kenneth Branagh does not speak Swedish. Tom Hiddleston does have curly hair.
Yes.
The little dwarf-like guy is not in it.
That's right.
That's it.
Sir Kenneth Branagh, right? There was
Sir Kenneth.
He is Sir Kenneth. No, he is Sir Kenneth.
If you saw him, you'd call him Sir Kenneth.
I happened to be at a first night, right, of some film he was involved in, and guess what?
I don't know.
The first two rows were empty. No. Guess the two rows were empty.
It's lovely days today.
And everybody sees. He yells it through the trees. Everybody was sitting there, right, and then all of a sudden it said, "Ladies and gentlemen, Sir Kenneth Branagh and his party will now enter the auditorium."
Why were you not in his party?
Well, I wasn't, because I was with somebody else.
Right.
So come in, and then guess what?
I don't know.
Before they sat down, they said, "Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the performance, please would you remain seated until Sir Kenneth and his party have left the auditorium."
That's shocking.
Exactly, shocking. Anyway, that's it for today, folks. Is that it for today?
I guess it is.
I guess it is.
We'll be back next week.
I want to say a big thank you to Ross, who has been our technical operator on this one.
Yeah.
Top man.
Yeah.
And by the way, when are we back on next on talkSPORT?
We'll be back on talkSPORT Friday night.
10 o'clock.
And you can talk some more football if you like.
That's right. And by the way, a bumper show on Saturday, 3 hours from 11 till 2.
Yes.
That's great. See you later.
And we're done.